RACIBORZ is a small town in southern Poland, next to the Czech border. It is located away from the main tourist routes, but at the same time there are plenty of impressive places imbued with an ancient history of the city. Hello everyone from RACIBORZ. Today I came to this small Polish city, and it is one of cities in Poland where you can find also very interesting history and architecture. But if you don't know a lot about this city, you probably wouldn't even find it on the map. But previously in 15th, 17th century, it was really one of the main cities of Poland, where the life was really interesting. And today I came here for the first time, so let's go to explore this small but nevertheless unique Polish city. When you are traveling in Poland, almost in any city of this country has a nice, good looking, charming marketplace or rynek in Polish. And also RACIBORZ is a very old city with unique history. It was part of Czechia, it was part of Germany, and now for last years it is already part of Poland. But in the city center, on this market square, you can find a lot of really old buildings, and even if I will look to the right side from me, I can find a lot of Soviet style buildings. And usually if you can find such buildings in the city center of Polish city, it's a sign of big destructions from the World War II, and also the same issue was here in RACIBORZ. Only one old building survived here in the city center. It's Rynek 3, I think it's this address, but also you can find some renovated buildings. Anyway, also some of the buildings were built in a new style, and you can definitely see it like a part of Soviet architecture. And there is also one very interesting fact, because when I was in Warsaw, I found that the city center of Warsaw was renovated really nice, and it is also part of UNESCO heritage, and destructions of Warsaw was really massive, huge destructions at World War II, but citizens decided to remake it, renovate it, and it was done really perfect, almost perfect. But today I also found that a lot of bricks were from RACIBORZ, and these destroyed buildings, kamienice in Polish, from the city center of RACIBORZ, they've moved to Warsaw as bricks, and then new buildings were constructed from them. And it's quite a difficult question for me. Is it good or no? Because from one side I'd like to see heritage of RACIBORZ, of this old city here, that is connected with this place, but from other side, at least Warsaw can have a better city center right now, so it's not the worst variant too. Anyway, even here you can find some interesting buildings on the market square. Exactly these gray buildings, and it's nice that they are not too colorful, because you know now is a trend to make city centers very colorful. For example, in Poznan, in Wrocław, we can find green, red, yellow buildings and other colors, bright colors of the buildings. But previously, a lot of market squares they looked like there. Not a lot of colors were, and today it's even more unique, because this trend, I think it's too massive right now, and sometimes you'd like to view the city as it was in the past. And here are also that kind of buildings, which looks really nice in rainfall weather. As for me, it's always a really very interesting theme how we decide where to travel. And of course, I am talking not about some business trips or some trips to relatives. It's about some travel experience, about some new destinations, and how we choose where to go. For example, why we decide to travel to Italy but not to Spain, or to Munich, not to Berlin in one or other year. And if I will talk about my today's trip to RACIBORZ, it started from the bottle of beer, because I found in a shop RACIBORZskie beer, and of course I heard something about RACIBORZ, that there are such city in Poland. But when I saw this bottle, I decided to search some more information about this city, and I can say that my trip started from this point. And when I found also a site of this brewery, it was an opportunity to visit it, and today is one of the days of open days in this brewery. And as I found, it's also the oldest brewery in Poland that is working also in our times. So let's go to Browar Zamkowy. It's a castle brewery here in RACIBORZ. So some afterwards, I will tell about my emotions after the excursion, because we already was in industrial part of this brewery, and it was a really interesting experience for me, because before this day I was in museums, in beer museums. I think several beer museums in different parts of the world, but I never visited the real manufacturing process, some manufacturing brewery. And exactly here in RACIBORZ, we were in some parts where you can feel, where you can see how this process looks. And it's also a fermentation process, other process like bottling of the beer. It looks really interesting, and the one thing that cannot be filmed, it's about smells, because you can expect to find here really strong smells, but I think it's exactly the right smells which should be in a brewery, and it's a part of expectations, and it also a part of experience from visiting such breweries. Yes, as I said, it's a very old brewery. It's the oldest one in Poland right now, but it also was renovated, and it was renovated already in 21st century, because it was a flood in RACIBORZ, very tragical part of RACIBORZ history, but even in the worst events, you can find some good. And if we are talking about RACIBORZ brewery, Browar Raciborski, here we can find some renovation that was made after the flood, because nothing was working after it, and all is quite new in this brewery right now. Here they make 12 different types of beer, and of course any excursion to brewery, it ends with a degustation. You can buy any beer that you want from this RACIBORZ brewery. And as for me, I don't think that I'm a huge fan of beer or huge expert of beer, but for me, the tastes of RACIBORZ beer is great. I really like it, and of course, it's better to come here and try by yourself. But even if you will not have an opportunity to come here on this excursion to brewery, it will be a great idea to just try RACIBORZ beer, because you can buy it in different parts of Poland, and I think that no one will be disappointed from this beer. And it's also regional beer, a Polish regional beer. It's a status of this beer. Now it's given only to 3 different breweries here in Szczecin and also in Lublin. And there are some obligations about the beer making process. So I think that the quality of this beer also comes from this original status of this brewery. And another thing about this brewery, last but not least, is about this site, about this place, because it is located in a castle, in a real castle, RACIBORZ Castle, or Raciborski Zamek. And of course, you can find a lot of old buildings right here. You can also visit this castle, and after it come to brewery or maybe to this beer bar, but of course it's about different feelings that you get from this very historical place. Also, you should consider visiting a castle because it's close to the brewery. To be honest, it's part of this brewery located in the castle, and also this beer bar is located in the castle too. And it looks really nice. It wasn't destructed in the Second World War. It is quite authentic, and you should also walk here and see how it looks right now. Here in RACIBORZ, near the castle, you can also find Castle's Park, and it is quite nice. It's more for locals, but even if you will come here for a couple of days, for a weekend, you can also go here and spend plenty pleasant minutes or hours here. Yes, right now, of course, is not the best weather for walking. Because it's rainy today, but if here will be sunny, it will be a great idea to spend some time on the beach or to climb here, because here is a climbing object also available. And even if you don't want to make some activities, even walking in this park is quite nice. Unfortunately, the weather wasn't the best one this time, but maybe it's an opportunity to come here back another time. So it's all for today, and subscribe to this video. See you in next video.